Media means something in the middle. So why do you call newspaper or TV a media? No. Media, not a media, right? It's because we know an event, okay, by the TV or newspaper. So that is in the middle, and that's how we know of an event that happened. So we call them media, all right? They reacted quickly and kept the public informed at all times. They reacted quickly and kept the public informed at all times. What does that mean? Kept the public informed. That means continuously inform the public. All right. Exxon did the worst. Its CEO ignored the media, and at first the company did little to help the locals in Alaska who were affected by the oil spill. Its CEO. What is a CEO? CEO is chief, okay? Executive, okay? Officer. So it's the person in charge of the whole organization. Chief is the person in charge of an organization, right? Executive is a person employed by a business at a senior level. An executive decides what the company should do and make sure that it happens. Officer is a person in a position of authority. That means a person in a high position of that organization, okay? Ignored the media. What does that mean, ignore? Ignore means pay no attention. And at first the company did little to help the locals in Alaska. Help the locals. What is the locals? The locals is the local people, okay? The local is same as, no, the locals is same as the local people, all right? Local means people living in a particular area, all right? In Alaska who were affected. What does that mean, affected? Affect means to cause something to change, all right? By the oil spill. What is a spill? Spilling is a liquid, okay, accidentally flowing over the edge of the container. All right, that's spilling, and spill is the amount of liquid that is spilled. All right. So let's go to the next part.
Companies also need to deal with customers affected by the crisis. In the case of the Pan Am disaster, the airline did a poor job. It was sued by the families of the dead. The company stalled and tried to shift the blame to government agencies. It claimed the government should have warned the company about possible terrorist attacks. As for Exxon, it tried to shift the blame to one person, the captain of the tanker. Eventually, the compensated local fishermen for their losses. Tylenol's case was different. The company wasn't at fault, but it did its best to help the family members of those affected. It recalled all of its products across North America. Then it destroyed them at a cost of over $100 million. Lastly, a company needs to ensure that a similar incident won't take place in the future. Pan Am never got this chance. It went bankrupt in 1991.
Okay, what was the part about? It was about the second step, all right? What was that? Deal with customers affected by the crisis. And the professor talked about the 3 incidents, all right? In case of Pan Am and Exxon, they did bad. They did a poor job with this, okay? But Tylenol the makers of Tylenol did a good job. So how did Pan Am react? They tried to shift the blame to government agencies, all right? And for Exxon, what did they do? They tried to shift the blame to one person, who is the captain of the tanker, all right? And what happened with Tylenol? It recalled all of its products and destroyed them, although it cost them $100 million, all right? And did their best to help the family members of those affected. Okay. Companies also need to deal with customers affected by the crisis. In the case of Pan Am disaster, the airline did a poor job. In the case of, what does case mean? Case means a situation of something happening. In the case of Pan Am, the Pan Am disaster, the airline did a poor job. What is an airline? Airline is a company providing regular services of transporting passengers or goods, all right? Did a poor job. What does that mean, a poor job? Poor means a bad job. Poor means bad, all right? It was sued by the families of the dead. It was sued. What does that mean, sue? To sue means to start a legal case against somebody, all right? In order to claim money from them for the harm that they caused you. Do you understand? It was sued by the families of the dead. What does that mean? The dead. The dead means dead people. The company stalled and tried to shift the blame to government agencies. The company stalled. What does stall mean? Stall means to try to avoid and delay something and try to do it at a later time. And try to shift the blame. What does that mean, shift? Shift means to move something slightly, okay? If you shift blame or responsibility, means you make another person seem unfairly. No, you unfairly make someone seem responsible for something, all right? Or take the blame for that, okay? Try to shift the blame to government agencies. What does that mean, government? Government is the group of people who governs, all right, a country. What is governing? Governing is taking official charge of a country, and what they do is they make the law and manage the economy and provide public services. That is governing. Government agencies. What is an agency? Agency is a government organization which deals with an area of administration. It claimed the government should have warned the company about possible terrorist attacks. It claimed. What does claim mean? Claim means to say that something is true. It claimed the government should have warned the company. What does warn mean? Warn means to let somebody know of a danger, okay? About possible terrorist attacks. It claimed the government should have warned. What does that mean, should have warned? That means the government should warn the company, but they didn't. That is what it means. Should have, okay? They should, but they didn't, okay? As for Exxon, it tried to shift the blame to one person, the captain of the tanker. As for Exxon, what does as for mean? As for means regarding or talking about. Okay. As for accent, it tried to shift the blame to one person. What does blame mean? Blame means if you blame someone for something, you say that they caused it and they are responsible for that. The captain of the tanker. What's a captain? Captain is the sailor in charge of a ship. Okay? Okay. Eventually, the company paid for the cleanup. Eventually, what does that mean? It means in the end, after a long delay or a lot of problems, all right? The company paid for the cleanup. What is cleanup? Cleanup is removing dirt or pollution or crime or corruption from something or somewhere, all right? It also compensated local fishermen for their losses. It also compensated. What does that mean? Compensate means to give money or something else to a person for their loss, okay? To replace their loss. Do you understand? It also compensated local fishermen. What does local mean? Local means concerning a particular area. Local fishermen. What is a fisherman? Fisherman is a person who catches fish as a job or for sport, all right? For their losses. What is loss? Loss is no longer having something or having smaller than before. Tylenol's case was different. Okay? The company wasn't at fault, but it did its best to help the family members of those affected. Of those affected means of the people affected. All right. It recalled all of its products across North America. All of its products. What's a product? Product is something that is being produced in a large quantity, something that is produced or sold in large quantity, all right? Across North America. Then it destroyed them at a cost of over $100 million. It destroyed them at a cost of, what does that mean, cost? Cost means the money that you spend to buy something, all right? Or the cost of over, what does that mean, over? Over means more than, all right? $100 million, 100 million. So how many zeros in that? 8, okay? This is $100 million. Lastly, hold on. Let's go to the next part.
Lastly, a company needs to ensure that a similar incident of those affected. It recalled all of its products across North America. Then it destroyed them at a cost of over $100 million. Lastly, a company needs to ensure that a similar incident won't take place in the future. Pan Am never got this chance. It went bankrupt in 1991. Yet airports worldwide improved their security measures. The Exxon disaster led to improved training for tanker crews, while shipbuilding companies started making stronger tankers. Tylenol designed tamper-proof pill bottles and spent millions ensuring the public its products were safe. Today, the Tylenol case is frequently cited as an effective response to a crisis and outstanding crisis management.